Hey, welcome into our brand new talk show called Talk Break here on Good Guys Radio TV. I'm Matt Hildebrand. Along with me, we've got Brandon Rigdon and Maggie Dean. And the show concept is really kind of loosey-goosey. We're just going to talk, and that's about it, right? Like
we're going to talk and then break.
It's not like a huge concept, I guess. But the reason we call it Talk Break is when you guys hear us talking on the radio, that's what we call that, right? So you'll hear music, and then we say that song was, the title of the song by the artist it was by, and then, we talk about some of the things that are going on in our community and going on in pop and country music news and in entertainment and all that kind of stuff. So this is going to be that, just kind of stripped from the radio. So this is really kind of our day-to-day little peek inside the studio, what we get up to when we're not, at a ball game or at a fair or at a festival, and chilling with you guys here in the studio. So, does that pretty well describe the concept? What we're going for? I think we're just chilling.
Yeah, we're basically just chilling.
Yeah,
that was actually funny enough. The beginnings of this show was just that. It was just Jay chilling. That's what I call it. Reason being is just like, so you always hear us on the radio, as far as if you are listening to us locally, in our station, we just talk about so here's what Lady Gaga did.
Sure. Yeah. It's your favorite example.
Lady Gaga.
What dress is she wearing this week?
Right.
Even though she kind of hasn't really been super relevant. I mean, she's relevant, but not like...
Don't you diss Lady Gaga. That's a terrible way to get started. You're going to throw shade at Oscar-winning, Grammy-winning. She's pretty close to an EGOT. You got to give Lady Gaga credit.
It's not that... I think me and my wife had this conversation before with Lady Gaga. Love her to death. She's very influential, still inspirational. But obviously, I don't consider her like the absolute top of the top star that everyone talks about right now still.
Okay, well, to each their own. I think Gaga's still fantastic. So, Lady Gaga, if you happen to come across this, no shade to you at all.
You're still goo-goo for Gaga.
Yeah, goo-goo for Gaga. Oh, that's Radio Gaga. I mean, that's Queen. So, we're transitioning just one great artist into another. So we'll take it.
That's right. You're right. You're right. There is a lot of good artists out there that just because they're not extremely still relevant as far as being talked about all the time doesn't mean that they can't still be good artists.
Well, we'll get away from your quote unquote irrelevant artists and talk about like we said, some happening news in the pop and country music worlds, because it's kind of what we do day in, day out. So let's transition into that. We'll just shift over, talk a little pop music news to kick things off. What do you think?
Sure. Yeah. Let's jump right into it, as they say.
As who says? They works.
Let's get into it. A lot of YouTubers, they love jumping right into things.
Okay. All right.
So
we'll just borrow that from every YouTuber ever. Let's jump right in.
Let's just jump right into it. Yeah. Yeah. So well. A little bit of country music news that we can talk about.
Well, this one's both pop and country, I'd say. And I'd say Mr. Jelly Roll falls perfectly into both categories.
You're right. I'm not going to take away that at all.
Yeah, Jelly Roll. You already threw shade at Lady Gaga. Don't you dare throw shade at Jelly Roll.
And I know. I'm already the villain here, beginning the show.
We've established it well. We started good.
Yeah, I tried to make Matt the villain, but
no.
With his deep voice,
it's not happening.
Nope, it's me.
Yeah.
Well, Maggie. So you're right. Jelly Roll is in fact he's kind of a mix.
Yeah,
he really does do both. As far as our stations wise, if you are listeners of our local station that we have here, we have both 99.5 The Edge and C103, and of course WFLE as well. But those are the main stations that that's actually here, and so Jelly Roll has permeated both.
Yeah. And I'd say another really big name that at least Jelly Roll wants to perform with is Eminem.
Yeah, he actually just got the opportunity to. They had kind of crossed paths a few times, met each other, but recently Jelly got to perform with him in Eminem's hometown, which I think is so cool. popped up in Detroit to perform together, and Jelly says that was one of the biggest career highlights he's had so far, which to me is really impressive because, again, Jelly Roll does kind of fall within that realm of a little country, a little pop, a little rap, a little hip-hop. He does, kind of a solid mix. And the dude has performed with Lainey Wilson, kind of the top tier of country music right now. He's performed with Winona Judd at the CMAs, I think, last year. So, like, upper echelon of legendary country music. And now he's got Eminem. He could just keep, like, checking the marks off. That's
I'm about to say, and he's spoken in front of Congress. He's done all of these things. He's done in legislation. I mean, Jelly Roll's just up and at him right now. He's at the top of his game. So I don't think he's going down anytime soon.
So that's why I said, don't you dare throw shade, Brandon. No shade for Jelly.
Well, funny enough, my head must be full of shade right now because my very first thought was like, he is the toppest of the felons.
Oh my God!
Don't do that to poor Jelly Roll.
That's not true. Morgan Wallen sells way more albums than him. So
Another felon.
Morgan,
Another criminal.
We can't get into Morgan Wallen's career accomplishments or criminal activity because we'll be here all day. So
why does that seem to be a pie chart of like
really funny
successful
criminal?
You can't help it, right?
Well, then there's a lot of other people we could lump into that category. But anyways,
we're not getting into all of that. Actually,
let's not jump into that.
I saw right after the chair throwing incident, Morgan, launched a chair off the 6th floor balcony at Eric Church's Nashville bar. Someone was quick on the draw. They had a shirt that said "I love felons," and it had his mugshot, and I think Zach Bryan's mugshot and Co Wetzel's mugshot,
and there's a few more.
All three together. It's just hilarious. So, like, kudos to whoever that random lady was in Kroger that day. Either she made it or she bought it, and it was like immediately after. So
I would say it's still not the first time Morgan Wallen's been arrested as he's been famous.
Yeah.
Not the first time. Probably won't be the last, but
I can guarantee you it won't be the last. Morgan Wallen, buddy, get your life straight, please. I mean, we appreciate it for the headlines and stuff to talk about. But
It's a talk break to talk about.
Right, but all the same, wish him the best because he does make good music. I like Morgan Wallen.
Well, yeah.
So, and I like Jelly Roll.
He's come back after being canceled, but that's neither
And
here nor there.
That's what anybody could hope for, right?
Getting canceled and then coming back from it?
Yeah. Dude was hard canceled, not just by like the public eye, but like his label was like, you better reel it in. We're done promoting your stuff. And then, of course, he sold, millions and millions of albums, was the top seller of the year. So, I don't know. Morgan Wallen, maybe he doesn't need to get his life together. Whatever he's doing is working just fine.
Whatever he's doing is actually right.
Well, even if he doesn't, AI is good enough to make music for him.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a whole other world of things.
I want to transition from the not-so-wholesome Morgan Wallen to...
back to Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll. Wholesome dude. Just absolute the sweet. His name says it all. Jelly Roll. He's as sweet as a jelly-filled donut.
That's right. Oh, donuts. I thought that's the thing we need to add to this show.
It's a donut moment.
It's trying out donuts.
A donut show, please sponsor us. Donut shop, sponsor us. We'll test them live on the air.
Okay.
That's right.
You know what? This show really is the concept is just goofing off, so we'll do whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Donuts. I like chicken wings.
We like Girl Scout cookies.
I do love Girl Scout cookies. Oh, gosh.
Pretty much any food you could bring us, we'll eat it.
Essentially. Well, I won't say any.
Well,
Close
okay.
Skip the anchovies.
I'm not that picky. Brandon's a picky eater, though.
I can't
be.
You.
Yeah.
I will say most variety shows that you would see on YouTube that do eat a lot of food will even go out of their way to eat like bugs and stuff.
Okay.
We won't do
that
that.
might
No thanks.
that might be the threshold.
Not doing the bugs.
We'll eat pizza, pasta, donuts, cookies.
We'll eat all the good stuff.
All the breads.
all the breads.
All the carbs.
That's right.
We're
All the
carb
carbs,
loading.
all the fats and oils. Like
Not the good ones either.
No, absolutely. We will never be sponsored. At least I don't think so.
Hello Fresh.
I don't know. Maybe a doctor's office would like to sponsor us. A local hospital would say, "Hey, don't do what these guys are doing. Get your life straight."
Just like Jelly Roll got his life
there
straight.
There you go. Full circle. Brought
full
it
circle
back.
moment.
Yes, Jelly Roll. Yeah, just kind of going back to if you've already forgotten what we were just talking about with Jelly Roll, he got to freaking perform with Eminem. Is that not cool or what?
I think it is.
So okay. here's a scenario. You are a semi-successful artist. Jelly Roll, really has blown up over this last year, 2 years, 3 years. He's been hard working at it. You get the opportunity to perform with any current star out there, right? Who would you pick? Who would be like, that would be the way I knew I made it. If like Jelly Roll, he's made it. He got to perform with Eminem. Like I know now I'm successful. What would be your marker for that?
Oh man. Eminem would be kind of up there. I've always really enjoyed Eminem. Gorillaz is another one.
Gorillaz, like Feel Good Inc.
Yeah.
Aren't they just an animated group? They're not. I've never understood their concept.
They are animated as far as like their MTV music videos.
Okay. But they are an actual like real life. They're real people.
Yeah, they're real people that
I just
perform
assumed
live.
They were the earliest version of like an AI created band, and that was just they're just in the interweb.
Right.
Oh,
well, I would actually love to see myself animated into their music video.
There
That'd be
you
kind
go.
of neat.
Yeah.
But probably that'd be my generic answer to that. Would be like yes, yeah. If not Eminem, because I don't want to just steal Jelly Roll's, what he got out of it. It'd probably be M, and then of course Gorillaz in there as well.
Okay. Now Maggie, you do perform on the regular, so like you've at least got the talent to back up this claim. Whereas Brandon and I are like,
well, let's say when you're a musician, you have like in your mind of like who fits your style the most. But I'm just gonna go straight what every Gen Z or like myself is gonna pick, and it's Taylor Swift.
Oh, Taylor Swift, the Tay.
That makes sense.
Tay all day.
I mean, she's got all the theatrics. She's got it all. She's got it down with the outfit changes. She'll even change outfit on stage. Have you seen those videos?
Yeah, when it's like a tearaway, and she goes,
yeah,
like there's a whole other costume.
Well,
what the heck?
Well, they also have they have fans that they pull up, and one of her backup dancers will go grab the dress from one of the side like lights on the stage.
Yeah.
And they put the fans up, and she takes her dress off, puts a new one on in like 10 seconds.
It's crazy.
I couldn't do that.
I will tell you, I mean, huge credit to her, because I've been at shows where there's costume changes. I'm not starting this by throwing any shade, but I went to
here we go.
We're back to shade.
I was at a Lauren Elena show. You guys know Lauren Elena, right?
Yeah.
Season 10 runner-up American Idol.
Yeah.
She was delightful. She was a really good performer. Lauren Elena, shout out, right? But she did like 3 costume changes in the show, and each one of them was at least 3, sometimes 5 minutes long. Do you know how long that is to sit there?
At a concert, too.
Yeah, that was actually my biggest problem with like Usher's Super Bowl halftime show. To bring full relevance into it, is that he had costume changes and like equipment changes, and I get it takes a long time to like put rollerblades on
and put on those giant ludicrous boots.
Yeah, and I love her, the artist, Her, her, but like she had to stand there and riff for Usher on stage for like a full 60 plus seconds of a 10-minute show.
I think she killed it.
She killed it. She's great. But anyways,
I love her. I
suppose that's not like hotly relevant right now as the Super Bowl halftime show that happened a couple of months ago.
That happened over 5 years ago.
5 years in radio time.
It feels like, I guess. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about full relevance then, Brandon, because you're our relative, our local tech guy. So Maggie's our music person. You're our tech person.
Sure.
I'm our entertainment person. We're just going to define the roles.
Somehow we defined it like
department.
that. Sure, I'll take it. I'll take
works.
the defining.
I think it works, yeah.
Well, I will say as far as being the tech guy of things, it's convenient in the world of radio because there's a lot of tech that happens within our realm of jobs.
Specifically, Brandon's like top tier expertise is antiquated tech, like old stuff, and radio. If it's not broken, you don't fix it. You don't change it. So like there is some gear that, and it still sounds good, that at some parts of our business are a little aged.
Well, it's kind of going back. I've talked about this before with Ken. He's another person here that is also big in the audio, like old audio as well. Audio peaked in like the 60s, really like late 50s. Basically when they figured out how to do stereo, like 2 channels and kind of one groove of the record or whatever. That's kind of when we peaked. because our human ears only go 20/20, 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz.
That's interesting because our vision does the same thing, right? 20/20.
Yeah.
So we were just meant to have 20s. Then.
20s.
That's why we have 20 digits.
Which is funny because
10
2020.
fingers, 10 toes, 20.
Which is funny because 2020 was one of the worst years in existence.
Oh my gosh!
Like
Conspiracy unleashed.
Yeah.
We've now got it.
What a world. What a world. Well, other things that happened in this world are a lot newer than music. You know?
Yeah.
One of the things that has certainly made a huge progression as far as advancements wise is like phones. Phones in general.
In the past 15 years, they've made leaps and bounds.
Oh, yeah. I mean, really, just in the last 10 years. Like, 10
Yeah.
years like, I remember 10 years ago, I had, it was like an Android. It was a Droid Original, I think is what it was.
Oh.
And
You're an OG.
Oh, yeah.
An
yeah.
OD OG.
An OD OG. Yeah, I had a Droid Original because I remember it was at the time when the iPhones were like at their peak. I think it was the iPhone 11, I'm pretty sure. No, the iPhone 7, 4? 7, 4, 11? One of the two.
I don't know.
Keep throwing numbers, you'll hit it
throwing
eventually.
I
numbers.
remember the 4 was just like the basic one that had like, it didn't have Siri yet, but the 4S
No
had
Siri.
Siri and she changed the world.
I think it was 4S.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
I think it was the 4S. at that
We
time.
here are iPhone people, funnily enough. Me, you, and Matt all have iPhones. We're all,
All in
like,
different
we're
generations.
All, yeah, we all
Right.
have different iPhones too.
I'll be honest, I don't even know what generation iPhone I have. I just know that I have a newer phone than I did before. So we bought my wife a new one, and I got her old one. So like that's how I quantify.
The hand-me-downs.
Mine is slightly less new than my wife's. So
Yeah.
See, I have one of the oldest iPhone 14s. So, like, my phone kaputted. It took a dirt nap forever.
A dirt nap. You actually buried it 6 feet under. That's not good for the environment.
no, right? Don't
not
do
with
that.
that battery. But
Right.
they were like, well, you can either get a 13 or you can get the newly released 14 for the same price. I was like, well, heck yeah, I'm going to get the newest one.
Yeah, phones in general are just kind of weird. Like, they're one of those utility. It's kind of eventually they just kind of become a car where you're just like, this is just the thing that I hold in my hand and
Right.
look
Yeah.
at all the time. You kind of forget. You'll get it, have that new car smell for a minute of being like, wow, all these features and the screen's so great. And then after like, I don't know, maybe like
6 months.
6 months, I was going to give it like 10 days.
Brandon's attention. That's not right. Brandon's attention span isn't that short.
You
right?
get used to it, to
Well,
where
it
you
just-
don't feel like it's fancy anymore because it's what you're used to. So
It's just another. It's the anxiety device that everyone holds. It just becomes like, oh yeah,
Right.
back
I gotta take good care of this because it's gotta last me for forever. So.
and then there's people
Yeah.
like me who I'm very clumsy, so I drop my phone a lot. But it's not broken.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. I have a case, I have a screen protector, I'll be fine.
So, Brandon, are you like actively seeking to drop your iPhone right now? Because of the three of us, which is weird, because we have already labeled you the tech guy. Like you're the guy who really likes the Apple products and the audio equipment and all that. And yet you have the oldest phone, maybe in the company. Honestly, when we go like across the board,
No.
pretty close.
Who
I
has
mean,
an older phone than me?
Our station manager, Mr. Ken Smith.
Well, he's an Android guy.
That's true.
You're just saying that if it's an Android, it's instantly like worse
Didn't
than
say that. I
Well,
did
his
say
is
that.
old. His is old. He will tell you his phone is older.
It is. Okay, so Brandon has the oldest iPhone.
iPhone.
We'll just
Maybe,
label
yeah.
it that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that. Actually, you know what? I think me and the station owner,
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Mr. Bowles,
Don keeps there with
We're
you. then.
tied.
he is an X as well.
Okay,
He
okay.
has an X.
So Brandon has an X. Matt has no clue what he has.
I really don't. Do I have an
think
X?
it's a 14. No, it's a 13.
I have a 14.
A 13?
Maybe a 12.
Well, I'll have to look.
I'll go through all the numbers again.
Just keep throwing numbers out.
we
You'll
can
get there
go.
eventually.
We can go 3 through 16.
Yeah.
Well, not yet 16.
Since you're talking 16, I think
Yes.
that's where we were going, right? That was a big announcement this week.
Well, it's sort of an
announcement.
announcement. Really, the actual thing that's happened here lately is that anyone who's following Apple at all or is kind of an Apple nerd. I used to actually work for Apple, so I kind of am a little bit of an Apple nerd
Yeah.
for that alone. WWDC, it's the Worldwide something conference.
Developers
I think, yeah,
Conference.
Developers Conference. They actually had their event. This is more than just one day. This is multiple days. And with WWDC, generally that is just a software release. Yeah, they don't really do much hardware during that time. Of course, when 2020 happened, and it kind of threw everything off. And then there was a little bit of a change. But for the most part, WWDC always talked about software. And one of the biggest upgrades in software they've been talking about has been AI. As you know, AI is now relevant more than ever in our lives right now.
Yeah.
So, I would say we use AI for enjoyment here. Because we will use it for
Brandon has
like the graphics and stuff like that the AI can make, and they make very interesting ones if you like are not specific enough.
Yeah.
Like Brandon and I sat down and we made one of a certain green ogre playing
Shrek.
and Donkey, his side companion.
Now, Shrek is TM. This was just a certain green ogre. No
A
TM.
certain green ogre with a gray donkey playing baseball.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, he hit a home run.
Yeah.
It was a winner.
That green ogre hit a home run.
AI
A
can
nondescript green ogre.
But AI can also be a little bit scary because if you're a Facebook user, if you go see a post and instead of I've seen it multiple times, or it's a recipe and it's just the picture, but it's obviously an AI generated picture. But not everybody knows that. Everybody's like, well, those don't look like real bananas. Well, it's AI.
Well, those don't look like real bananas. I know a banana when I see one.
It's not that one. But going back to Apple, they're releasing tons of new features with this new AI stuff. Like if you have AirPod Pros and you get a call and it'll ask you, would you like to answer it? You can just shake your head yes or no.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is, I mean...
Star Wars stuff right there.
That
or
is.
Space, what would you call it? Space adventure.
Generic space conflict. You can't have Star Wars, but you can have space conflict.
Space conflict. Oh, no, that's only if they lose, right? That's
Right,
when it becomes
yeah.
a conflict.
That's
no,
yeah.
I need to have some sound effects.
Right.
We'll get copyrighted.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Anyway, okay, back to the phone. So, yes, with the iPhone, they have not officially released the 16 yet. However, we do have a glimpse at what they call it leaked. Conspiracy theory alert, I think they leak it on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
They generate the buzz.
Definitely.
But I'll pull up a picture here of what we have that as far as what it looks like.
That's just the basic model.
That is pulled up right now. That is purely just the 16 period. It doesn't no extra stuff to it. And if you notice anything, I have my phone right here, the old classic X.
Mine's an XR, by the way.
Okay, you figured it out?
Yeah.
So notice that lens layout.
And if you go to the 14s, which is just two models back from this, that has two cameras.
Yeah, you guys are starting to look like a stovetop.
Oh, we gotta cover.
Got.
I have to cover up the logo.
The
Sorry,
stovetop.
I have to cover up the logo.
Oh yeah, I don't want to get copyrighted now.
Trademarked.
So funny enough, this is completely way unrelated. You mentioned stovetops.
Sure,
though.
yeah.
Yeah, stovetops. My wife was talking to me about very side tangent here, but basically what ended up happening was that her friend just moved into a new place, and she was gifted a stove.
Okay.
And within that stove, there were some dead mice in it.
Oh,
no.
She didn't realize this.
Oh, no.
Until she heated it up. She preheated something, and
baked mice.
the mice
awful.
they lit up.
We've all had baked chicken. We've all had baked chicken. We've never
it didn't
had
smell like chicken.
baked mice.
No.
But I did see, speaking on that, mice and stoves, I was watching TikTok the other day. Yes, I'm a TikToker.
Let me just, before we get into that, this is how every conversation ever happens here.
We go from phones
we
to
started
stoves to TikTok.
Well, this lady, I'm on the side of TikTok, like cleaning TikTok, and there was this lady who decided to pull out her stove to clean behind it, and she was just cleaning it. She mopped it behind it, everything. It all dried, and when she went to go push her oven/stove thing back against the wall, mice had chewed the wires in the wall and caused a short. And when she did it, her stove literally, the inside of her stove blew up, like it made a boom sound on the inside. You could see the sparks.
What the heck?
The mice had chewed through the wires and made her stove explode.
Well, long story short, despite the fact that two of the most iconic characters on the face of the planet, Mickey Mouse and Pikachu, are both mice.
Pikachu's a mouse?
Pikachu's a mouse. The electric mouse Pokemon. Get with things. Yeah. That's why I'm the entertainment guy, okay?
Listen, this is going to make all of our viewers out there feel old, but I wasn't alive. I like to blow people's minds. I was born 3 weeks after 9/11.
You're alive now. Pikachu's still relevant, okay?
Is he?
Get with the program. He
still is.
I thought he was just
I'd say
a...
Lady Gaga, Pikachu.
I've never seen a
Pikachu
yellow
outranks
mouse.
Lady Gaga.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I've never seen a yellow mouse.
No shade at Lady Gaga.
Is he blonde or is he just yellow?
Yeah. No,
Is he blonde?
he's an electric mouse. Of course he's got to be yellow because he's electric. Anyways,
back to the stove. Sarah, my wife, she when she cleaned it all up, or her friend cleaned it all up. Sarah just kind of like held the stove open. They cleaned it, sanitized, all is well.
Okay.
At least I think.
I would still
However,
be hesitant.
she called the stove, like she was trying to explain it to me. It was like a gas range but electric, and I'm like, huh? Like, how does that work? And she's like, it's got the little curly things on the top. I'm like, oh, that's just a regular, that's just an old-fashioned kind of stove.
Like an induction stove, yeah.
Not even induction. It's just, it's just heat. It's just all.
Yeah.
It's got the little curly heat.
Yeah. I use those to make roast marshmallows sometimes.
Okay, so for whatever reason, in her head, she thought that flat tops, I guess, were just so standard that's all this came from was a flat top.
Okay. Thank you for that wonderful transition. iPhone 16, possibly soon, actually announced instead of just unofficially leaked. And there you go.
Well,
it has a flat top stove as camera.
Well,
all four burners.
Now you know. All four. They
burners.
finally gone to all four burners. You got it.
I mean, they're only going to use the bottom right burner anyway, so.
That's true.
Right. The meme where it's got
I will tell you, that is not true in our household because I like the top to the right versus... Because I think our bigger one is at the top.
Well, the
smaller one's at the bottom.
You're much taller than me, Matt.
I
can't reach the back of the stove without having to lay on it, so.
Yeah, Matt actually has to tilt his head every time he walks into his house.
I don't have to do that.
Hello, honey.
Hello,
in actuality, we do have a microwave above our stove, so if I do have to lean, look into said pot or something, I do have to hunch down a little bit. But anyways, microwaves, stoves, how do they work?
How do they work?
We don't want to get into that.
Copyright.
No, that's a whole other thing.
Copyright.
So I want to talk about, before we get ready to wrap up, because we kind of rambled on and covered a lot, Bridgerton, okay, because that's super relevant. The second half of season 3 just dropped on Netflix. I have not watched it yet, so please don't talk to me about it yet. And I was shocked to learn, maybe not so much for you, Brandon, at least maybe Sarah would have watched it in some shape and you'd have been passively told about it. You had zero idea of what Bridgerton was.
I thought he was talking about the bear.
Yeah, and I had no idea what that means. That Paddington bear?
Is that who you were thinking of?
I thought for sure there's a bear called the Bridgerton
That's the
bear.
Berenstain.
The Berenstain bear?
Bearstain.
No, Berenstain. Not Berenstein.
I thought it was Bernstein.
No, anyways.
Berenstain
Bridgerton.
Bears.
So, Maggie, you haven't watched it either, though.
No. Well, here's the thing is, I have ADHD. So when I watch a show, I hyperfixate. That's what I said, Paddington is what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
When I think of
Guest
one
appearance
show,
by Kimberly.
guest show by
She's
our
actually
wonderful
been here
Kimberly.
Yeah, she is there.
I fixate on a show, and I literally will watch that every second that I possibly can until I finish it. And I have not been hooked on Bridgerton yet. I just finished up the wonderful USA show, Psych. Just finished that show.
I know.
Again.
Isn't that an older?
It's an older show. It ended 10 years ago, but it's still a great show. It's relevant.
Okay.
But Bridgerton,
right.
no.
Bridgerton, maybe a little more so. But that's, the second half of season 3. So Bridgerton, Brandon, for your explanation. So Kristen was watching it.
His
and
wife.
I think, my wife, sorry. I have to quantify. My wife, Kristen, was watching when the first half of season 3 came out. So I don't know how long ago that was, but several weeks now. And so I sat down and was like, okay. So usually we don't watch a lot of shows together. We have a few select ones. I was, don't worry about, she had just started an episode when I got home. I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll sit here and I'll goof off and it's just background noise. I got into it, okay? With that one season, a random season 3 episode. It's like, who is that guy? What is she doing? Anyways. So yeah, we went hard down the Bridgerton rabbit hole, and I've watched all of it up to now the season 3 second half that's just coming out on Netflix. So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's based on a book. Just so
based on books, right? The first book was The Duke and I, or something like that. And it is interesting because there have been shows where you have main characters and they like go away as the time progresses and like their storyline wraps up. But like season 1 goes hard in on a specific. So the Bridgertons are like the main family. They're fancy, well-to-do people. They're all fancy, well-to-dos, and it's just basically going back to like Victorian London and talking about all their drama. And I don't know. I really bought into it. So the Bridgertons, it starts with their oldest daughter, and she's like of marrying age, and it kind of goes through that whole process. And there's like little side quests and side characters and side stories and all that. But yeah, I was really bought in on it. It was good. And then season 2, from what I understand anyways, I guess people didn't like season 2 quite as much, still liked it. I liked season 2 better than season 1. And then there's an offshoot show called Queen Charlotte, and I liked that the best. That was really good. Like, I hard cried. That was that was a very emotional roller coaster. So, yeah, good stuff. Kimberly, watch Kimberly from the other room. Watch Bridgerton. That's my official. Yeah. Oh,
she says she's
good.
sold.
All right, Netflix, pay this man.
Yeah.
Hashtag not sponsor.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor.
Checks in the mail. Don't worry about it. But yeah, Bridgerton season 3, part 2, I guess would be episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8. That is on my to-do list when I have enough downtime to do. Both Kristen and I have enough downtime to, because I would tell you, very few things would I get upset if she watched without me, because I don't buy into that many TV shows. I'm fully bought and sold on this one. If she watches an episode without me, I will have words with her.
Back when me and my wife used to watch a lot of movies and shows, really, I don't know. We go through like a cycle through the year. We'll watch a bunch of stuff. Like we were watching Breaking Bad, like hardcore for like a solid like 4 months or whatever. And then,
it's got a lot of seasons.
It does have a lot of
5 or 6 seasons.
Yeah, so you could go forever really if you wanted to. But then like all of a sudden we'll just like stop. And we're kind of in that lull. Yeah, we're in that lull right now. We're like, it's not like the show was bad or there was any reason to stop. It'll just be like one day we just won't continue it, and then we'll just won't watch anything at all other than just like weird shows on YouTube. There's a show. There's a thing called Be Amazed on YouTube. Check it out. A little YouTube shout out to somebody else.
Was that a hashtag you just threw up there?
Hashtag.
Okay.
Hashtag shout out. Be Amazed. It's just this wacky show of just like toilets, like what do you call it? Bathroom reader.
Toilet humor.
Okay.
Well, not even toilet humor, but just like bathroom reader knowledge.
Things that you would read before phones were invented on the toilet.
Basically, yeah.
People magazine.
Like, did you know?
And joke books.
Yeah, I like those. Random facts.
Yeah, random facts. Okay. Did you knows? I tell you, I've learned so much from this stuff. From this videos.
Official recommendation: once you and Sarah decide you're going to watch shows again, Bridgerton.
Here's the thing.
I don't know if you'll like it, but I liked it. I've really bought into it. So.
Here's the thing: is my fiance and I do not like to watch the same things.
No,
at all.
Well,
he likes to watch wrestling. I do not.
You don't like
wrestling? Is high drama. Like seriously, wrestling is just a soap opera. With dudes in Spanx.
Well, here's the thing.
Spanx, tights.
Is he has been a big wrestling fan since he was a kid, and I am new to the world, and he tries to explain everything, and I honestly I just watch along. Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
Like, that's a ladder. That's his back.
Bam!
Bam!
Now you understand.
I just like it when there's guest appearances from, like, The Rock or, like, John Cena or, like, people that I know.
Well, wait, you saw him?
Yeah.
Very good.
No way.
Yes. He did this. He disappeared. He did it again. He came back.
You see me? Wait, did you see me run over to that rock? You want to see me do it again? That's probably copyrighted.
Probably.
Oh, no, that wasn't copyrighted because remember that was a different name.
Oh.
Well, anyways.
The Rock says.
Anywho.
Well, anyways, I don't like to watch that things, but one show that we did agree on was another Netflix show, Stranger Things, which Matt has not seen.
No, too spooky. Can't do it. For future reference, I don't like anything spooky.
Me neither. I
Mark that down as a character trait.
Character trait for Matt Hill and Brandon.
I specifically do not like scary movies. Like when me and my fiance first met, he dragged me to go see like Candyman and like all of like the more recent Halloween movies. No, I hated them all.
Huh.
But I liked Stranger Things.
But it's spooky.
Well, but it's set not in today's time, so it didn't bother me.
Well, okay, go watch the original Halloween by John Carpenter. That movie's set in the 70s because that's when it came out.
Well, I was also
Does
the
that
kid.
make it better?
I was the kid that had nightmares after watching Monster House. I still can't watch Monster House, the animated movie.
Animated movie? Yeah. As I understand it, that is a scary animated
That's
movie.
the uvula. Oh, it's a girl's house.
What a deep cut reference. Good job, Brandon.
But the front, like, foyer carpet, like,
Foyer.
was a tongue. We're back to fancy words.
I think you mean foyer.
I think you mean foyer, girl.
And then there's sconces, and there's big words that we taught Brandon this week.
You guys.
But, those things. I think just the whole storyline and the building that they've done, I really enjoyed with Stranger Things.
Stranger Things is good. I watched the first season of it, and then it was a classic case of, all right, we're done, cut. And we just stopped.
You guys have a lot more to binge now, so you could go back and like revisit multiple seasons.
I wish I would have waited till they released this newer season that they're getting ready to release. It's being released next summer, like next spring/summer. I wish I would have waited till then so I could just binge watch at the same time. Because again, I have ADHD and I will just think about the possible endings until then, and I hyperfixate on that show.
Oh, I did find out my wife. This might be going back to why we don't watch that many shows together. I annoyed the crap out of my wife watching Bridgerton because she'd already seen it, and so I'm like, "Oh, what happens? Oh my gosh, is he going to get in trouble for? Oh my gosh, she found out." She was like, "Shut up already."
Yeah, it's a little less fun when you're not both riding the same roller coaster together.
Right,
when they know what's coming. So Sarah already watched Breaking Bad, for an example.
Gotcha.
So when I was watching it for the first time, because I've never watched it, I missed that train a while back. Which I understand now the hype, years later.
Bryan
The hype was
Cranston.
real.
Yeah,
Great
the hype
actor.
was real. It really was. Oh, Bryan, he's such a good man.
He's such a good actor.
Such a good man.
He's a very versatile actor. He can do so many
He
different
can be
roles.
the dad of Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
He can
Or he
also
could
be
be freaking
a cooker.
Yeah,
A
freaking
A legal
crazy.
substance cooker.
It's insane.
Oh, okay. I understand what you mean. I was like, what show was he a chef on?
I mean, in a way, he was a chef.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, chemist. He got it. You understand the gist, right? So.
Well, anyways,
Oh, man.
Well, I think that pretty well takes us through all the random things that we had to talk about. At least, I feel like we've fully covered. So it's a little insight for you folks as to kind of how we hang out and do our jobs. Like, translate all of that into now talking in between songs. And that's pretty much what we do for a living. So,
Right. Yeah, the general idea of how this show exists, of how we all are bouncing ideas off each other, is how that can equate into things to talk about throughout, the little talk breaks that we do.
Yeah. Little talk breaks. Is it?
Little
Talks.
talks.
Yeah, that's what our official, like, our stuff folder, our
Community
content
announcement.
folder is labeled Little Talks. It's little things to
Talks.
talk about. So
Just little things to talk about. Like obviously we wouldn't spend 2 hours just talking about the one thing.
Right.
We'll spend 30 seconds to a minute and a half talking about, like what event you should go to or what Lady Gaga did.
there you
and
go.
that way we can keep you up to date on things happening, keep things topical for you, to know in the knows of entertainment news, maybe things happening in our local area. We can keep you guys up to date as best as we can.
Yeah.
And we spend
At least weekly.
Well, we spend lots of time going through different social medias and platforms and things to find local events that we think you guys will like.
Yeah, so I think like long term that'll be maybe another portion of this show where we'll talk about some stuff that we're doing, some of the things that you can expect from C103 and 99.5 and Good Guys Radio TV. So this is just kind of a rough draft first run, and I'm sure things will change. So let us know if you like this kind of content. Do the classic like, share, subscribe. Make sure to follow us, hit the bell so that you get notified when we post new content up. But all in all, I think that'll do it for the very first inaugural edition of Talk Break.
The pilot episode.
Pilot episode. There you go.
Pilots.
It's a canon event.
The one where everyone tells
references.
everyone to skip.
Please don't skip us.
You
The pilot episode was junk, but I swear, by second season, they were on to something.
Well, hopefully not the case, but if so, well, catch us on the next one. Right here on Good Guys Radio TV for Talk Break. I'm Matt Hildebrand.